guys, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and today I'm going to show you how to make breadsticks in your bread machine. If you've been following me for quite a while, you've probably seen that I've been adding a whole lot more bread machine recipes. We've had a little bit more time at home right now, so I've been experimenting and making all sorts of old recipes that I've made in the past. In the description, you'll find some links to other bread machine recipes that I've made. I've done dinner rolls, I've done bread, I've done jalapeno cheese bread, I've done cinnamon rolls. But today I'm going to show you how to make breadsticks in your bread machine. It is so easy to do. You just have a few ingredients, put them in the bread machine, and then you lay it out flat, cut them into breadsticks, and then you bake them. It is so easy and so much cheaper than buying them at the store. I mean, you would probably pay, what, like $2 or $3 or more for a bag of breadsticks, and you can get 16 breadsticks out of this recipe for a fraction of the cost. And if you don't have a bread machine, I mean, go to the thrift store. You don't have to pay $50, $60 for a fancy bread machine. I got mine at the thrift store for $6, and it's lasted me 5 or 6 years. So let me show you how it's made. First ingredient we'll add is 1 cup of warm water. Now your bread machine may differ in the order in which you put all your ingredients, but with mine you typically do like the wet ingredients first, and then you do like the flour and then the yeast last. Then after the water, we'll add 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we'll add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Next, you'll add 3 cups of flour. I'm using a mixture of whole wheat and all-purpose, but you can use all of it all-purpose or all of it whole wheat or any combination of both. And then last is 2½ teaspoons of active dry yeast. Now let's stick it in our bread machine. So if you've seen any of my videos, you have seen this bread machine before, and like I said, I got this one at the thrift store for only $6, so you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on a bread machine. Like, go to the thrift store, see if you can find one for really cheap. So mine has a lot of different menu selections. I'm going to select the dough function, and that's going to go for about 90 minutes. So I'm going to check it after about 5 minutes or so to see if I need to add any more flour or water. So here's what it looks like after about 5 minutes. You want to be able to touch it and not have it like stick to your fingers. So it looks a tiny bit dry, but I think it'll be okay. So let's check back in about 90 minutes. Alright, the dough just finished. It looks really good, not too sticky. Let's put it on a cutting board and roll it out. Let's dump it out here, and then I'm just gonna knead it a couple of times and then use a rolling pin to roll it out nice and flat. It's a little bit sticky. I ended up adding like maybe a tablespoon of water because it looked a little dry, but this extra flour will help that. And next I'll just take my rolling pin. We're gonna roll it out into a long rectangle. Part of my problem with rolling these into rectangles is that the ends always end up being like round and not as wide as the rest of the dough. So I'm really trying to work on that. Okay, that looks good enough. Now let's transfer this over to the cookie sheet and we'll cut it into the breadsticks. I've already sprayed the sheet with cooking spray, so that will help keep it from sticking. So I'm just gonna try to flatten it out a little bit more. Now I'm going to take a pizza cutter and cut this into pieces. If you don't have a pizza cutter, you can just use a regular knife. But I'm going to start by cutting it just down the middle like this. And then I'm going to cut mine into 16 pieces, as even as I can get. The easiest way is to just cut it in half once and then cut it in half 2 more times. And they probably won't be even. That's okay. But from here they need to rise for another hour at least. So I'm going to cover this with a kitchen towel and then come back in an hour to bake them. Alright, let's check back later. So these have risen quite nicely actually. Now at this point you could put some Parmesan cheese on it, you could sprinkle some garlic powder, maybe even like an egg wash to give it like a crispier top. I'm just gonna put this in like it is and bake it for between 13 to 15 minutes. Oh, these are beautiful. I kind of tap them a little bit, and if they're pretty hard and hollow on top, that means they're done. Once these are done too, you can also put melted butter on top. You can sprinkle some garlic powder or Parmesan cheese on top of that too. But otherwise, these are like really good just by themselves, and you can serve them like with soups, with salads, or just by themselves. If you like this recipe, make sure you check the links in my description for all the other bread machine recipes that I've done. If you would like to see me make something else using my bread machine, please leave me a comment and let me know. I'm always looking for more ideas. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified when I post my grocery hauls, my recipes, and meal planning tips. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you later.